Ernest de Soto. Ernest Frank de Soto, October 26, 1923 – December 29, 2014, was an American master printmaker and lithographer who specialized in American and Mexican prints during his career. He established and directed his own printing workshop. De Soto was the first Hispanic master printer in the United States. De Soto was the first American printmaker to establish an international relationship with Mexican artists and had a lasting impact on printing in the United States. Early life. Ernest de Soto was born on October 26, 1923 in Tucson, Arizona. De Soto was an eighth-generation Tucsonian and a member of the group Los Descendientes del Presidio de Tucson. In an interview, De Soto discussed his passion for art from a young age and recalled the encouragement of his parents and teachers. As a young man, De Soto attended the Chouinard Art Institute, now known as California Institute of the Arts, from 1942 to 1947. While in Los Angeles, De Soto discovered the art of lithography under the master printer, Linton Richards Kistler, whom he studied under. De Soto served in World War II as a camouflage technician. Career: Mexico, New York City, Ohio, and Illinois. In the early 1950s, De Soto returned to the United States. He spent a few years printing lithographs for the Contemporaries Gallery in New York City. In 1955, De Soto moved to Cleveland, Ohio, where he taught art. Next, De Soto taught art at the University of Illinois for about 10 years. California. In 1965, De Soto was awarded a grant from the Ford Foundation to work at the Tamarind Institute in Los Angeles for 2 years. At Tamarind Institute, he met artist José Luis Cuvas, who he later partnered with. Upon completion of his program, De Soto was awarded the title of Master Printmaker, becoming the first Latino to achieve this distinction in the field of lithography. Collector's Press. After his studies, De Soto had the opportunity to open an art shop in San Francisco. De Soto co-founded the Collector's Press Lithography Workshop in 1967. He remained at Collector's Press until 1975. Notable printmakers at Collector's Press included David Folkman of Little Egypt Press, Editions Press, Press. In 1972, De Soto became a partner with José Luis Cuvas in Editions Press, located at 915 Bryant Street in San Francisco. De Soto's time at Editions Press was short due to economic issues happening. However, he reorganized and sold the printing business, which remained open and under new leadership, and using the same name for many years. Notable printmakers working at Editions Press included Brian Shore. De Soto Workshop. In 1975, De Soto founded his own workshop called the De Soto Workshop, which is known for specializing in contemporary Latin American and American lithographs, fine prints, and etching by some of the best-known Latin American and American artists of our time. The website of the De Soto Workshop describes some of their methods. Each De Soto created lithographs with many Mexican artists, including Edmundo Aquino, Alejandro Colunga, Jerry Conchao, José Luis Cuvas, José Forz, David Gallegos, Byron Galvez, Rupert Garcia, Luis Granda, Luis Jimenez, and Gustavo Rivera. Creating prints in De Soto's workshop allowed many of these artists to gain entree into the American art world. For example, Francisco Zuniga created his first lithographs at the De Soto Workshop. The Mexican muralism movement of the 20th century did not exclusively feature fresco paintings, but also included architecture, sculpture, and the graphic arts, particularly the woodcut and the lithograph, have all shared the same dramatic development. De Soto created lithographs with famous muralist artists like José Luis Cuvas and David Alfaro Siqueiros. These artists did not experiment with techniques in the manner of professional printmakers, but more often used the popular medium to extend and reproduce their paintings. The Mexican muralism artists became less political in the 1950s, which can be observed in their art, in which there seems to be less concern with social protest, although the subjects continue for the most part to examine native Mexican life. De Soto created prints with Mexican artists during this period, such as the piece Mother and Child created with David Al. De Soto's studies in Mexico and experiences with Mexican muralism and surrealism artists shaped him and continued to be a part of his career when he returned to the United States and eventually established his own pro. Death and legacy. De Soto died on December 29, 2014 in Tucson, Arizona. The life and career of Ernest de Soto demonstrates the interconnectedness of Mexico and the United States. De Soto could trace his Spanish ancestry in Arizona to before the United States was even a country, and identified as both an American and a Latino. Historian Felipe Fernandez Arnacito argued that there are other U.S. histories than the standard Anglo narrative, in particular a Spanish history, rolling from south to north and intersecting with the story of the Anglo frontier. De Soto's legacy as a Latino master printer and relationship with Mexico artists falls into this transnational arc of Mexican-American relations.